Hello, thank you for joining us in our series on Catholic women. I'm Jenny Zahner, and today we'll be talking about servant of God, Teresa Dejon. She lived from 1872 to 1950. We have here an example of a mother who reached the heights of sanctity by her faithfulness to duty and her faith while engaged in the ordinary events of a simple life. Hers was not an easy one. Beginning at the age of 13, she was forced to abandon her education because of the sudden death of her mother. Since her father had to work to support the family, it fell to Teresa to remain at home to maintain a neat house, to cook, wash, and care for the children of the family. Gradually, as a result of an active prayer life, Teresa felt called to the religious life. At the age of 21, she announced her intentions. Her father, however, disagreed with her plans. In obedience to him, she married a sea captain named Joseph and had 14 pregnancies. Only 7 of her children reached the age of adulthood. The loss of the other 7 children deeply grieved Teresa, but she accepted their loss as the will of God. Just as she did in her youth, as a wife, she faithfully attended Mass and received the Holy Eucharist. Afterward, she returned to her home where she cared for her children, whom she educated in a praiseworthy manner regarding the teachings of the Church. She was careful to teach them right from wrong, explaining to them the necessity for diligent study and the care of those in need. Every day, in addition to all her household chores and the care of her children, she found time to help the poor and the sick. She also explained the faith to those who were unable to attend church due to physical disabilities. She was a blessing to all who came in contact with her. She drew strength for all these charitable endeavors by her almost constant prayer and meditation on the Word of God, and from her adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. Somehow she was able to maintain all these activities in spite of various physical ailments that caused her a great deal of pain. All this she accepted in the form of Christian fortitude. After 45 years of marriage, she became a widow and was all alone, her children having left home long before. Then another tragedy struck with the beginning of the war. Since the city that she lived in was a seaport and subject to bombing, she left there and first went to another city to stay with her daughter Maria. She next went to the home of her son Alfred in Rome. After the war, she returned to her hometown, only to find her home totally destroyed from bombardment. She was not only alone, but also homeless and in meager funds. For a time, she stayed in a small apartment, but then her son welcomed her into his home, where she stayed until her death at the age of 78. The Church has noted that Teresa reached a height of extraordinary Christian spirituality and therefore of true Christian heroism in the ordinary events of a simple life, applying herself to her duties, the care of her children, as well as the care of the sick and the poor of her community. There was nothing grand or extraordinary about her long life, but it was one closely connected to the love of her Church, and especially to the love of her God and fellow man. She was totally successful in living the ordinary life, as did Jesus and Mary at Nazareth. Teresa has been presented by the Church as a role model for mothers and has been given the title Servant of God. Her cause for canonization was introduced in 1982. Those who knew her in life now pray that she will soon be raised to the honor of sainthood. Thank you for joining us.